live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.
Eleri Ward, welcome to iHeartMedia.
Thank you so much.
So Eleri, for those that don't know, is a New York City-based actor, singer, and musician whose album A Perfect Little Death went viral with her take on the category of Stephen Sondheim. Her new album, Keep a Tender Distance, continues the folk exploration of Sondheim. So again, welcome to iHeart. That's so great to have you here.
I'm very happy to be here.
So you've blown up in the recent couple months, years at least, with this acoustic Sondheim set. How did this whole thing manifest?
It is a wild little tale. In March of 2019, before any of this, I was just auditioning like crazy, going to as many things as I could, which if you've never experienced New York City audition season, it can beat you down a little bit. And so I was going to auditions and seeing my friends, and they would ask me how I was doing, and one day I responded with, oh, you know, every day a little death. And then I had the song stuck in my head. And when I have a song stuck in my head, I either listen to it repeatedly or I play it and sing it. And so I picked up my little cheap guitar I had at the time and put together these couple of chords that I sort of knew and created this cover. And then it just sort of became this thing, and I just kept making these covers sporadically in my living room for my enjoyment. And it wasn't until TikTok that I posted them there that I found an audience for them that I never knew I had. And yeah, much transpired thereafter that has now brought me to moments like this.
Thank God for TikTok.
Right?
And also, I also say every day a little death, so I appreciate the fact that you've made a little bit of a career out of that phrase, because I use that on a daily basis, basically.
Spirit sisters.
Exactly. So what's been the most surprising thing that has kind of transpired throughout this journey with you and the Sondheim acoustic setups?
There are many, and I think the main two that are popping up in my head is, the first one is after his death, I had learned that he approved of my first album and loved what I did with his music, which is something that I never expected to receive, and something that I cherish truly every day. And then also the fact that it led me to my friendship with Josh Groban, who then ultimately asked me to open for him on tour last summer, and that changed my life. And I mean, just things that when you post a video, you don't foresee happening. So Sondheim's approval and Josh Groban asking you to open for him, never saw those happening, but they've changed my life.
And we should also mention it's kind of apropos for you to be here today, because it is Sondheim's birthday.
It is.
So this is all kind of like a moment happening for you.
Yeah, I'm really grateful to be playing his music for people on his birthday. It's very meaningful.
And you mentioned Josh Groban, but the other amazing thing is you have some big fans out there, and you did post about one a couple months ago, was when you met Lin-Manuel Miranda,
Yes.
and he came in and told you how much of a fan he was, and you're like, oh my God, but I'm a fan of yours.
It was so crazy. Yeah, so I was in Saratoga Springs. I had just come off of doing my set for Josh, and was in my dressing room, and my dressing roommate, Lucia, and I got a knock on our door. And it was Josh being like, hey, like, I have a friend here, like, who wants to meet you guys. Like, is it okay if I bring them in? We were like, yeah, of course, like, come on in. And then it's Lynn, like, gunning for me out the door. I was like, oh my God, what? And gave each other a huge hug, and we just loved on each other. And I could not believe that this genius man was telling me that he was just like constantly listening to my voice in his ears for the past few months.
And he also went on publicity tours and talked about you too.
Yeah, which like, what? It's just crazy. That's crazy. I'm constantly giddy about things like that when they happen, because I've spent so long not having things like that happen. Mm-hmm. So it's still really surreal to even think about that still.
So in honor of Sondheim's birthday, in honor of you being here, I do have a little bit of a hard question.
Yes.
If you had to only sing one Sondheim song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, my favorite song to sing is Send in the Clowns, because it just feels good. So maybe I'm going to go with that. But, you know, it could change tomorrow or the next day. So,
And I believe you're going to start with that today, aren't you?
Indeed.
All right,
Giving you my fave.
Eleri Ward, take it away.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair, sending the clowns. Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. Where are the clowns? Send in the clowns. Just when I stopped opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours, making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my lines. No one is there. Don't you love farce? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clowns? Quick, send in the clowns. Don't bother. They're here. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my timing this late in my career. But where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Well, maybe next year. Thank you. This is I Remember from Evening Primrose. I remember was blue as ink, or at least I think I remember sky. I remember snow, soft as feathers, sharp as thumbtacks, coming down like wind, and it made you squint when the wind would blow, and ice like vinyl on the streets, cold as silver, white as sheets, rain like strings, and changing things like leaves. I remember leaves, green as spearmint, crisp as paper. I remember trees, bare as cold rags, spread like broken umbrellas, and parks and bridges, ponds and zoos, ruddy faces, muddy shoes, light and noise, and bees and boys and days. I remember days, or at least I try. But as years go by, there are sort of haze, and the bluest ink isn't really sky. And at times I think I would gladly die for a day of sky. Thank you. And are you beautiful and pale with yellow hair like her? I'd want you beautiful and pale the way I dreamed you were, Joanna. And if you're beautiful, what then with yellow hair like wheat? I think we shall not meet again, my little dove, my sweet Joanna. Goodbye, Joanna. You're gone and yet you're mine. I'm fine, Joanna. I'm city on fire, wow, city on fire. And if I never hear your voice, my turtle dove, my sweet, I think we shall not meet again. The way ahead is clear, Joanna. And in that darkness, when I'm blind with what I can't forget, it's always morning in my mind, my little lamb, my pet, Joanna. You stay, Joanna, the way I dreamed you are. Oh, look, Joanna, a star, a shooting star. And though I'll think of you, I guess, until the day I die, I think I miss you less and less as every day goes by, Joanna. And you'd be beautiful and pale and look too much like her. If only angels could prevail, we'd be the way we were, Joanna. Wake up, Joanna, another bright red day. We learn, Joanna, to say I'll arms for a miserable woman. Thank you.
Eleri, thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So I have one last question before we go into like the finite details of albums and where to find you.
Yes.
We are in the Dunkin Latte Lounge. If you could have a Dunkin Latte with anyone who's either alive or past, who would it be and why?
Well, I feel like Sondheim would be the obvious answer. So I'm going to shake it up. And I'm going to say, so my all-time favorite artist is Caroline Polachek. I actually can say I wouldn't be the artist that I am today without her music. And I love the way she looks at the world. And I would love to have a conversation with her about just art and music and how much she has changed my life. So that's my pick.
I thought you were going to go the Sondheim route, so that I love that. That's
I couldn't
amazing.
be too on the nose, right?
Well, for those that don't know, how can they find where you are, where you're performing? Because you're going out on tour.
Yes.
So how can they find you?
You can find me at Eleri Ward, just my name, everywhere and anywhere. Instagram, TikTok, the like. And my website, eleriward.com, has all of my tour dates listed. My Linktree on all of my social media has that there as well. So yeah, type my name anywhere and you'll find me.
And I should mention, both albums are out on Ghostlight Records. The vinyl's coming out on June 2nd.
Yes,
via
for my
Ghostlight
second.
Records.
Yeah.
So go out and find them today. Eleri Ward, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Amazing. Thank you.
To see more videos like this, check out DunkinLatteLounge.com. And if you're posting on social, use the hashtag Dunkin Latte Lounge.